first, and I came here a couple months ago, kind of out of college with a science background, and through some connections, stumbled upon the lab and met Randy, and had the good fortune of having him as a mentor. Um, he's got a big background in medical and cannabis, and we work together as a team with my science background, his cannabis background, and kind of just to make a great product. So.
Totally. And I've been so I started here in March. I used to own a dispensary in Fremont. I've always been involved in cannabis, whether through like my lifestyle as a reggae musician, believe it or not, and just growing up in Hawaii, being around cannabis. It's just been a part of my lifestyle. I never saw anything wrong with it. It was always something positive within my life. So it's just a natural progression of that to join the industry and have the opportunity to work at a lab like this. So it starts from the producers that we work with. We're creating relationships and going out to the farms, talking to the producers about how they grow their flowers, and looking for people that value the same things that we do as far as our products that we put out to the market. So that's where it starts. And then commanding that supply chain to be as good and optimized as possible. So we are literally driving out to the farm, walking the fields with the farmer, learning about the strains, learning about his process, and then learning when to chop down that flower at the right time when it's at its peak maturity for extraction, preserving that product all the way through, extracting it the next day, and preserving what Mother Nature intended, and carrying that idea throughout the whole process, and utilizing technology, the terpene extraction, the full phase CO2 extraction process that we run. All of this shows through in the lab results. But the idea is that we really want people to know that you should expect from our extract it to be as an enjoyable experience, or even more so than the same flower that it came from, because it is identical. We are extracting what Mother Nature intended. We're preserving that, and we do it with the utmost respect. And the full profile effect is that something that we're here to do, and that I think that we do quite well.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at our test results, it's we get 21 terpenes tested, and I mean you can see, I mean we usually have somewhere around 19 of those terpenes prevalent in like any one strain. But you can see them, you can kind of see with the test results how fine-tuned the flavor and the taste profiles are. I mean, comparing Blue Dream or Pitbull or Peppermint Cookies, they're all going to be so different. And so it's one thing that allows us to be able to really accentuate the difference between strains and kind of carry that experience on over to the consumer as well. We'll get, you'll have somewhere around 3 to 4% terpenes in flower, and we almost always match that, if not go a little bit higher, to kind of really bring out the full flavor of the flower. So rather than, some oils you'll see that they'll be high in THC, but an indicator of a higher quality and a more closer, tight-knit relationship with the producers is high THCA. And so we preserve the material, and we preserve the oil through the entire process to get less degradation. So rather than having a higher THC fraction, which would be indicative of more degradation, we have high THCA. So that's going to be more energetic smoke, a little cleaner, less sleepy, really. So I mean, as THC will oxidize into CBN, which will give you the couch lock feeling. So we really minimize that by meticulously preserving through the entire process. We work at really cold temperatures, making sure that the oxidation from heat and time doesn't occur, or at least as it does, as little as possible. And the result, I mean, it shows through not only in the test results, but in the color of the oil. So the brightness and the vibrant orange and reds that we get are really show through the quality. And we're not getting kind of the deeper browns. It's a lot more vibrant. And so another thing I also wanted to mention as well is the purity of our product, not just on test results, but the more the purity as far as waxes and fats go as well. So along with preservation of our material and preservation against oxidation and degradation, we work at really cold temperatures in order to precipitate out as many fats and waxes as we can. So that's going to, if you look at our oil, it'll be really clear. You can see straight through it as long as there's not too many air bubbles in it. You can see straight through it. You won't ever get any waxes and fats, maybe unless you drop it below a pretty cold temperature.
Yeah.
You have to drop it down like minus.
That it would need to be in solution.
It would be be minus a lot Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
So and I mean that's just.
Well, not only so to go back to talking about purity, clarity. The purity is concentrated when you remove all of that stuff.
Right, exactly.
We're getting rid of the inactive ingredients, the things that give you pneumococcal pneumonia and all those things, popcorn lung, all those things that come from waxes and fats,
right.
Tars, paraffins. We're getting rid of all that stuff and just concentrating the active ingredients, the terpenes, the cannabinoids, etc. So then you get more of a pure product. I mean, my motivation is happiness. Working in a field that people are so passionate about what they do, and the motivating factor isn't just money. Your success is judged by other things, and that's really important to me. I think, and the people that I surround myself with. I think here I definitely see that. So that's why I wanted to join the industry.
Yeah, we're always striving to make it. We never feel done. I don't think I don't think we ever will feel complete in our process, and like our oil is the best it ever can be. For me, I mean I love the creativity of it.
Yeah.
I mean just there's no one way to do this process, and it's just take every piece of knowledge you have and throw it at the wall and see what sticks. And so it's been it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
At the end of the day, like seeing what you created.
Yeah.
And then getting that feedback from customers, like, oh, this is fire, this is so good.
Yeah.
I mean,
and getting
who
to
doesn't
deliver
love
that
to get
happiness.
those kind of strokes and those things and change people? And then I came from the medical side, so getting patients and being able to really help people with some of their ailments. Truly, there's no higher calling, I think, than that. It's kind of woo-woo, but it feels really good to be able to help somebody and them come back and say like, wow, man, like this really helped with this, and I made that. And, the love and attention, everything, it pays off when that comes back full circle like that.
Rather than a shatter that might come straight out of the machine or a dabbable that might come straight out of an extractor, we basically go through a refinement process and do the same thing as we do with our oil. It comes down to the residual lipids that are still residing in the oil will actually just make a harder product. So it's the difference between olive oil and butter almost, actually, which is really fascinating and really interesting. And that's...
I will say that you can dab our products right out of the
You
CO2
can.
rig. I mean, it's CO2. It's a super clean, pure product.
Exactly.
So that's nice, but we're never done. So we want to make that into something that's going to be better.
Exactly.
So the dabbables, I think you should keep your eye out for. We're going to work on a sugar, like a sugar type concentrate,
Crystal THC.
crystalline THC. I mean, not an isolate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the sodas definitely.
Yeah.
We've got some really cool things going on in our soda making lab.
And we're working a lot on, I think me and Randy are both really interested in live resin as well.
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
I mean, when we get, when we start nerding out about preservation of material,
true. It's all live resin.
It's all, we want to go as much live resin as we can, because that, if we talk about smoking THCA, it's like you just chop the plant down and we extract, and it's going to be
and the terpene concentration.
Exactly.
You smell fresh flower and you smell the same flower cured. They're completely different things.
Yeah.
So we want to lock up that fresh flower smell like you're walking through that field.
Yep. Exactly.
And you literally taste, you smell it, and the high is as bright as when you're walking through that field.
Mm-hmm.
Coffee as well.
Yep. Coffees as well.
Yeah, we're really stoked about coffee. We're getting into roasting and brewing, and this is Seattle. We all love coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna put out a really good coffee that's infused with marijuana. If you're looking for something really clean, pure, delicious, then I would try one of our oils or one of our products. Yeah. It's all about the terps. It's all about the full profile.